Hey, hey. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel Peace in the Promise. If you've seen my other videos that I've uploaded, this one probably looks a little bit different. I'm standing for one and I've got a new camera, so I'm just testing it out and I'm just seeing how I feel standing up and talking to you guys, because sometimes I feel a bit more free because I can like move around and stuff. If you know me in person, you'll know that I'm quite I'm quite expressive, so I like to be able to move and stuff. So yeah, this video is gonna have a lot of movement. But yeah, so my son's asleep, so if you hear me or if you see me kind of being like, then know that I'm trying to like listen out for him. He's alright, he's just in the next room, so a couple of rooms over. Anyway, I'm so pumped. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is Peace in the Promise. This is a continuation of my blog, peaceinthepromise.wordpress.com. My purpose is to encourage and inspire and just let people know that they're not alone in their walk. So I share a lot of my stories, I share a lot of my testimonies and experiences and things that God is teaching me, things that I'm still learning, and just I share them to encourage and to just, so we can all just kind of like get together. I was going to say group hug, but sometimes I feel a bit awkward with like all that bodily contact, but so that we can all just like give each other a virtual hug and just like be encouraged and uplifted, and to know that hang on, I'm not alone, someone else has gone through this, someone else is going through this, so I can overcome this. But yes, be sure to check out my blog, my Instagram and my Facebook page. Obviously you have already found my YouTube channel, so yeah, I share a lot of things. I share a lot about motherhood, parenting, marriage, relationships, walking with God, all that kind of stuff and more. But yeah, welcome. I'm excited to have you along for the ride. So today I'm going to talk about the Doula Ministry. Doula Ministry, so D-O-U-L-A Ministry. I'm just kind of using this term figuratively. I think I've used that in the right context. Don't hate me if I haven't. So I'm pretty much discussing the doula ministry. So when God uses you to help birth something through someone else or in someone else. So if you guys don't know, a doula is pretty much a person who assists a woman during childbirth. They're not a midwife. But they are like the emotional support, they are the encourager, they help the woman giving birth to just have the birth that they desire, if that makes sense. So they assist, they encourage, they're much like a friend or a mum, not necessarily those things, but they are that person for the woman giving birth. I'm actually Googling it to make sure I'm giving the right description. Okay, so it says, Wikipedia says, a doula is a trained non-medical companion who supports another individual through a significant health-related experience such as childbirth, miscarriage, induced abortion, or stillbirth, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I didn't know about the other stuff, but we're going to focus on the childbirth side of things, right? So, yeah, so doulas are mad important. Like, I didn't have one, but obviously I had my mom and my husband when I was giving birth to my son Moses, and that was a super cool experience. I've shared it. No, I haven't shared that. I'm gonna share that. I will share that probably on my blog, and I'll probably make a brief video about it because it's just like, it'll be way too long if I try to fit everything in, so I'll just try to do a little snippet of that. But anyway, so pretty much I'm just talking about, yeah, when God uses you to help birth something through someone else. Yeah, right, so I'm just going to talk about, let's say I'm talking to the people who, let's say you have helped a friend or helped somebody through a rough patch, or you've been that support, you've been their guide through that season, or let's say you've helped a friend bring an idea out. Things like that. Let's say you're a minister and you have assisted somebody through a really rough time, or you've helped people in different ways, maybe financially, maybe with your time and all of that. And a common thing that I hear is people feeling quite frustrated and a bit, I guess, betrayed or just a bit forgotten when, let's say, the person has gone through that time, you've helped them through the time, but it seems like they've forgotten you now that things are good, or it seems like they've forgotten you now that they're successful, or it seems that they've forgotten you now that that situation has passed, and I've heard people being frustrated with that. And I remember I used to find it quite, I was like, oh, but like, you've done your job, and I would try to, I would simplify it, but I can actually empathize with that. I'm a person that I can have a lot of ideas, and I would be scared to speak out my ideas, or I would be scared to say certain ideas because I'd be thinking, oh no, someone will take it. So let's say if I've helped or assisted people in projects or things like that, and let's say if I felt like they'd taken some of my ideas or made them, or built them into something, and I'm like, oh, but that was my idea, like I wanted to do that, or so I can relate on that level. And I'm sure many of you can relate as well. And let's just be real, like we can be all holy and wonderful and be like, oh no, it doesn't affect me, it's fine. But let's be real, like it does cut you a bit, and it does kind of, I guess, it's almost like a stab or a jab to your ego a little bit. You're like, that was mine, or I did that, or I was a part of that. Why didn't you talk about me? Why didn't you tell other people that it was me? But isn't that funny? Because when you're in that position, you are in the position of the doula. So let's say God has used you to assist somebody to bring something out. God has used you to assist somebody in thrusting the ministry forward. God has used you to lift somebody out of a discouraging situation. And to try and claim, I guess, glory over that it's in the same way, it's like a doula trying to claim glory for the birth of the child, saying like, I did that, I gave birth to that child, when really the doula's job was to encourage and assist and provide the water, provide the calming music, provide the massage, but they didn't push that baby out. Let's be real. And if any doula's trying to take ownership, like, let me tell you, if you haven't pushed the baby out, you did not deserve anything. Any glory. Anyway, but not, obviously, you deserve some respect, but you do not, it's not that you are in the same position as the person who is pushing the baby out. You are very important, your role is vital, but your role is not to claim glory over that child. Doula at the end of the day can't pick up the child and say, this child is mine, because like you served your purpose, you assisted the person, the woman, in giving birth to this child, but that child is not actually your own. Yeah, so ultimately, trying to claim glory for that it's a form of, I guess, like pride, isn't it? Because ultimately God has used you as a vessel. It has not been you, God has used you as a vessel. So ultimately the glory should come back to God, I'm just trying to think about a story in the Bible where this has happened, I guess like Mary, the mother of Jesus, she could at the end of the day been like, you know what, Jesus, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been the savior of the world. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have come into the world. If it wasn't for me, what. Okay, yeah, granted, you gave birth to him, but if it wasn't for God, the Father, you wouldn't have been pregnant in the first place, you know what I mean? So it's like we have to give the glory back to the one whom it's due to, rather than trying to always take it for ourselves. So I think it brings us back to perspective. What is our motive? What is our desired outcome? If we're assisting people in order to get a hand clap or in order to get a reward or some sort, then we're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. It probably gives us a bit of a check in our motives. Like we can see and say, okay, am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I doing this because I want something in return? Then that's probably not the right motive. But if we're doing it because like, you know what, I feel like God is leading me to assist this person. I'm doing this because God encourages us to help our brethren. I'm doing this because I'm being a good friend, because I'm being a good servant of God, and I would like them to do, if I was in this situation, I would like assistance as well. So when we are willing to just give without expecting anything in return, I think that we will have a greater level of contentment, and we will struggle a little bit less with that idea of why aren't I getting ownership over that? Why aren't they acknowledging me for my efforts and my work, So, and the beauty of it is, right, a doula can look, I think I've known somebody who's, I think my mother-in-law, so I think she was a doula for a bit. But anyway, I know some people, it's like you can look at the child that you assisted to birth, that you were in the process of assisting to birth, and you can look at that child grow up, and you can have that joy and that almost like that pride, but that righteous pride, say, wow, like I participated in this child being welcomed into the world. I assisted, I helped, and look at where this child is today. So think of that as like, let's say when you see the fruit of the person that you assisted out of that dark time, when you see the fruit of the ministry that you assisted in bringing forth, you can say, wow, I was a part of the genesis of that. I was a part of helping that to come forth, and not to say, okay, yeah, it's because of me that this is like that. No, it's like, wow, look at God, look at how he's used me, look at how he's used that person, look at how he's used all of these people, you know, to assist this ministry in coming forth. Because don't forget, you are not the only laborer. Like sometimes we think and we act like I'm the only person that's helped this person through this time while I'm getting glory. But it's like, it's not just you. Like God has sent so many servants to assist this person in bringing this thing forth, right? So sometimes we need to have that reality check to come back down, get our heads out of the clouds, get our heads out of we need to get off our high horse and to just bring ourselves down and say, hang on, what is this for? Is this for the glory of me, or is this for the glory of God, right? So this is an encouragement to rejoice in the Doula Ministry. The Doula Ministry is amazing because you get to assist, you get to be a partner with that person in bringing this thing forth. You get to be a servant used by God. You get to be a vessel used by God to help birth something out of somebody else. You know, and that's amazing. Like I think when we think about it in that perspective, when we think about it as being like a servant, being being a willing vessel, then we will have so much more fulfillment and gratitude. So I think it's definitely the selfishness of our flesh and the pride of our flesh that wants to claim the glory. And it wants us to claim acknowledgement. It's like, oh, they should have acknowledged you. They should have said your name there. They should have said this there. And yeah, granted, yes, okay, in a perfect world, everyone would be acknowledged for what they did and that or whatever. But when we think about it, we are called to a higher standard. We are not called to play petty Betty and be like, they haven't acknowledged me, there goes my support, I'm not going to support them, I'm not going to do this, now I'm never going to help them again because they don't even acknowledge me for anything. And it's like, what did you do it for? Remember, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for a response from them? Are you doing it for the glory to come back to you, or are you doing it because you want God to be glorified, right? Perspective. It definitely is a lesson in humility. Sometimes God will allow that. God will often allow people to not acknowledge you for your help if he's trying to teach you a lesson in humility. He's done that to me before, and I'm sure he'll continue to do it. But sometimes you're like, you really want them to acknowledge you, or you really want to be acknowledged in something, but you're not acknowledged at all. And then it really gets you to check your heart and to be like, why did I do this though? And then God also often reminds me in those times, like, remember why you're doing it. What is your motive? What is your purpose for doing this? So it is definitely a great humbling experience and teaches us to kind of reflect on ourselves and why we do what we do. So don't fret. Know that the seeds that you have sown in helping birth that ministry, or helping birth that breakthrough, or helping birth that triumph in that person, it's not in vain. Every time you are sowing a seed of faithfulness, of joy, of peace, of assistance, then that is also, you are going to reap those. You're going to reap from the harvest, you know what I mean? It's not just you're not throwing empty seeds out. You are throwing out these beautiful spiritual seeds, and you are going to reap a harvest when the time comes. So when the time comes for you to need assistance, when the time comes for you to require partnership in your business or your ministry and things like that, then the right people will come. The same way that you put all your heart and soul into it, God will bring people who will also bring their heart and soul into assisting you. But in the same way that if you are always doing it to gain the glory, if you're always doing it and then you're giving up on people, you're letting them go because like, nah, they're not acknowledging me, then don't be surprised in your own life if that's, the kind of response that you get from people who are supposed to be helping you, The Word of God does state, I'll put the scripture somewhere, I'll try to not grow weary in doing good, because if we do not give up, we will reap a harvest. So the key is don't give up. So don't grow weary and begin regretting all those people that you've helped, Don't tarnish that good seed that you sowed. Don't tarnish it. Don't go back and dig it up and then take it away and try and plant it somewhere else. No, leave it there. Allow it. Leave the seeds there. Scatter the seeds everywhere. I'm talking about spiritual seeds. Scatter those spiritual seeds everywhere and allow God to use them. God will send laborers. God will send farmers to come water. Then you'll come back and you'll be like, whoa, is that the seed that I planted? That's a big old tree. Like, damn. So yeah, it's just pretty much that's an encouragement for all of you doulas, all of you encouragers, and I believe every person in their life will be called to the doula ministry, or will be called or used by God to assist somebody else at some point or throughout our lives, because we are called to be servants, we're called to assist. Yeah. Okay, so my son woke up. Yeah, he's just had a nap. I need to get him ready before we leave. But yes, so anyway, I hope that was an encouragement to you. It's an encouragement to me, and just be encouraged. You are not alone in this walk. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to go and follow my blog so you can always be updated when I post a new blog post, and when I post another YouTube video. I'm trying to do weekly YouTube videos, and I'm trying to do monthly at least blog posts. So yeah, what do you think? So God bless you guys. Always remember to be encouraged, be joyful, full of life and light, and spread the love of Jesus in all things. May God be glorified in everything, in Jesus' name. And until next time, peace. Yay. Hey, 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 hey. Mama. Well, it's where I pretty much just my awesome guys. It's awesome guys. It's awesome guys. I like this. And at the very least, we are gonna be doulas in our ministry of God. Wait, let me go get my son. Yeah, and just remember to be encouraged. You're not alone in this walk. Rewind. Look at his sweet face. This ninja mom. You do a whole face beat in like less than half an hour. Go me. Yeah, anyway, so what do you think? Do you have anything to say?